Chimpanzees are mankind's closest living relatives. We share around 98.8% of our DNA with them. They live in similar social groups to us, and they even use tools just like humans do. But how smart are chimpanzees really? Do they have the same intelligence as humans? Welcome to Life Noggin. One of the most famous studies involving chimpanzee intelligence was done in the 1970s by psychologist and animal behaviorist Herbert Terrace at Columbia University. He wanted to see if a chimp could learn to communicate using sign language. At the time, it was thought that they couldn't. Most scientists believed that only humans could develop complex language abilities. So Terrace kept signing to his chimp, using a combination of American Sign Language and gestures. At first, the chimp didn't understand what Terrace was trying to communicate, but eventually it began responding to some of his signs, eventually learning around 350 signs. By the end of the study, Terrace had basically taught the chimp to talk to him. And although the results were promising, they weren't without their problems. Some scientists argued that chimps can only learn a limited amount of signs, not real language. And there was even some suggestion that Terrace's chimp Washo was actually reading his lips instead of understanding the signs. Still, this was an incredibly fascinating study, and it showed that chimps are capable of much more than we give them credit for. Since then, scientists have found that chimps aren't just good communicators, they are also great problem solvers. In one experiment, chimps were presented with two boxes, one with food inside and one without. At first, both boxes had lids on them, but eventually the chimps figured out that the box with the lid that opened easily had food in it, while the other one did not. Then when the researchers switched the lids from one box to the other, the chimps chose the box with the new lid because they associated that lid with food. This experiment showed that chimps are capable of understanding that other things besides themselves can have desires and intentions. This type of abstract thinking is something that was previously thought to be unique to humans. But despite their intelligence, chimps still don't have the mental capacity to perform certain human tasks. When researchers at Duke University tried to teach a chimp computer coding, it became clear that although the chimp was able to learn symbols and match them to certain commands, it wasn't able to arrange the symbols in the correct order to create a complete program. The chimp was even given a special keyboard with only 16 keys on it that had pictures of common objects on them, so it could make it easier to code. But after spending months on the project, the chimp was only able to create programs of 2 or 3 steps. Since then, scientists have been working on developing new ways to teach chimps, such as natural language processing, which breaks down language into smaller parts, allowing the chimp to learn smaller units of information. Although these new methods seem to be more effective, the chimps are still far from being able to write their own programs. Still, there's no denying that they're pretty smart. Knowing that chimps are so smart raises some ethical questions about how we treat them. If they're so close to humans, should we do more to protect them? Some people even argue that they have rights similar to humans. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. So many people ask us where they can send their kids to get them smarter. Brilliance is an amazing online learning platform with thousands of lessons in science, computer science, and math for kids ages 4 to 18. Brilliance interactive courses make learning really fun. My favorite thing about Brilliance is that they focus on problem solving and critical thinking skills rather than just memorizing facts. Kids can learn at their own pace, and Brilliance will adjust the difficulty of the problems accordingly. Until next time, this has been Life Noggin. Don't forget to keep on thinking.